How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about The Conjuring, The Lover. This is from DC Horror and is a 5-issue miniseries. It's a prequel to The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, and it's a really good and really fun story. This is about the character Jess, who is the lover. Basically, in The Conjuring 3, the movie, the witch needed to influence 3 people, the child, the lover, and the man of God, and the lover was a plot that was already dealt with before the movie started, and the characters eventually figured out what happened. But if we wanted to see all that happened with this character and her complete story, we can find this here, and it's a really good character study. I wound up caring about this character a lot more than a lot of the other ones that were introduced in the movie, and I really do like this book. This also features a cool thing where each issue, it'll be a half to 2/3 will be about Jess, but then they'll do an artifact room story. So you get the main story about Jess, but you also get 5 bonus stories based on things that are in the Warren's artifact room. So overall, I definitely recommend this. You can either read this before the movie, and if you do that, you'll probably, go right into the movie. It literally ends with "to be continued" in The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. And if you've already seen the movie, it's still good to, get more of a light on the background of the subplot, but at the same time, you do know where this is going, and that's sort of the only real thing with it, I love this story, but throughout the whole time, you do know how it's going to end. You do know the dark fate that awaits these characters, but that being said, you really do feel for the lead, and a lot of the artifact room stories are pretty cool as well. Let's go ahead and open up the first issue and take a look at the credits. They do this really nice double-page spread here, trying to be like the movie's big and dramatic opening. And the main story, that's always going to be written by David L. Johnson-McGoldrick and Rex Ogle, and you have art by Garry Brown. But the artifact room stories will always change, and you get different writers and different artists. As you can see, The Ferryman was actually written by Scott Snyder, and you get other stories by there's one by Tim Seeley in there, and lots of cool stuff. But let's go ahead and talk a bit about that plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few of the plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what this story is about. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I think I'll keep this to pretty much just the first 2 issues, although there is one shot from issue 3 I do want to show you. But anyway, we open up with the witch. The witch is getting all the things ready for her ritual, and she is about to leave the cursed object by Jess and get her cursed, and she is someone who is not at the best place. We see here she doesn't have a great relationship with her mom. She wants to leave college and go back home, and she really misses her best friend, but her mom does not like that idea. You gotta grow up, you gotta get a degree, you gotta get a good job, but she's really suffering and being ignored. And as she's going about her day, she begins to feel a strange presence around her. She begins to feel like she's being haunted. And in the early issues, it does get a little more plot heavy later on, but you get scenes like this, where you can see Jess studying in the library, the darkness overshadowing her, and these red eyes and this hand appearing, big, subtle, and slow moving, which is really interesting, but then again, if you read through it too fast, you don't really get the tone, so I'd encourage you to take your time and let these breathe. But she does start to get horrifying and creepy visions there, and they're starting to make people look at her funny and wonder what's up with her. You do get a moment like this where she's at the party and she feels all these people talking and saying all these different things, but then she starts to hear mysterious whispers and she begins to think people are talking about her, And she's got a secret. That friend she misses back home is actually a girl that she's like. She's secretly a lesbian back in the 1980s, and even though no one really knows her secret, you can see the witch preying upon her self-doubt and getting into her head. It's a really mean thing for her to do, but the character's a very evil and tough villain. But then you'll see it get in her head, like here, she gets the bed sheets yanked off, a classic Conjuring move, and when she gets up to try to kill the thing that's coming after her, we wound up seeing that it's not really the monster, she's actually going after her roommate, not really knowing what she's doing. So people are going to start to think she's a little crazy, and she's herself is going to start to think, is she losing her mind? And you really do feel for this character. You really want her to make it out okay, and you care about her a lot more than a lot of other people. You get this one scene here where she's imagining bugs are crawling all over her. Very cool and classic EC stuff. But because this focuses so much on character, I feel more for her in the tie-in comic than I did for that kid that was in jail in the actual movie, you know? So that is one thing, is this is a really good character study, getting to see her alone at college, not really fitting in and missing her home life. It's very, very well written. Also in the book, you do get, because these are comics, you know, they try to play upon the old-timey comics of the time, and you get all these fun old-timey ads, like here's one for a decoder ring, and here's one for, you know, the psychic eye glasses, and each issue will have 2 pages of these. I don't know if they'll be in the trades, but I really hope they will. Plus, this decoder ring, if you keep this issue open, you can get a secret message. It's this big long message the first time around, but in every issue, one of the ads will have a little string of numbers, and you get a decode a message. It's actually really easy because it's all set to 1A, 2B, so you can pretty much bang it out in your head. But I did like that as a little extra bonus item, and there's one of the ads I particularly like. It's, I think, in this issue, where they imagine The Conjuring as a cartoon block, you know? So you get the Astonishing Exorcist, and you get the Annabelle and Valak Mysteries. I really do like these, and I think there's there's a lot of pretty cool ones. I'm not going to show you them all. If you want to see them, you can go to my individual reviews, but yeah, there's the Conjuring universe playset with the haunted house and stuff. That was really cool. But let's take a quick look at all those little artifact room stories. I'll try to go through them really quick because these are all on the shorter side. But you get the first one that's about a coin from the ferryman, and this is the Scott Snyder one. You get this guy riding in the back of a taxi, and he tells the cab driver his story about how when he was young, he took a coin from the eyes of a dead woman, and now the ferryman is coming after him and ruining his life, and he has to track the coin back down. The next one there, I think, is the blood-splattered bride's wedding dress. You get this girl who gets a used wedding dress, but turns out the last person who did it, who had the dress, wound up killing their whole family. I think the husband had an affair or something. So it seems like anyone who has this dress is going to be haunted. So that's a fun story right there. This one is the only cover to actually feature the artifact room instead of the main story. But the Symbol Monkey is one of my favorites. This is the Tim Seeley one. And look at that art. The skull music notes flying out of the Symbol Monkey. That's great. But this actually opens up in the artifact room. And it talks about how there was this nurse that went crazy and tried to kill this newborn baby. And the Symbol Monkey was a present from the doctor saying, hey, look, sorry about that. Here, your kid can have this little toy. but the cymbal monkey bangs and weird things start to happen. It's pretty cool, but a little bit of a abrupt ending on that one, but I think that one is one of my favorites. Not cymbal monkey, accordion monkey, I keep calling it that. This one, another one that's pretty good, but also pretty short. A piano player whose baby just died had the music box, and the music box whispers to her that the husband got sick of the baby and was responsible for its death. Is that true or not? We don't know, but the wife definitely is influenced by that story. Pretty haunting concept there. And lastly, we have, where is it? Yes, the story of the Chalice, which is actually from The Conjuring 3. So you get this lady who's going to a school and is an understudy of the head lady there, as sort of someone who she's taken under their wing, and they're going to meet some people secretly in the forest with the Chalice, and you know that there's something afoot with this meeting, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but it does end pretty darkly. So that's another one that I liked, but it was one of those that once it got going, it was over, and I'm like, oh man, I want to see where this is. Oh, it's over, you know? So it had lots of cool setup, but then it ran out of pages, and I'm like, I could read a whole book with just this. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the covers here. You get the first cover all in this gray. The Conjuring movies did a lot of one-color stuff, you know, like, well, not completely, truly one color, but like the first movie was all brown, the second one was all blue. So now we get this all gray cover with the witch standing in the artifact room. Really, really fun. Then you get the big hand cover where she's sitting in her chair and the witch's grasp kind of comes over her. Then, this is one of my personal favorites, bright red crazy cymbal monkey. No, accordion monkey. I always mess that up. And then this one, which is more of a subtle cover, but you get her looking at the water with this big creature behind her. That's pretty cool. And then the last one, where the evil is really oppressing her there. Another bright red cover. Pretty cool there. But yeah, I really did like this. I want to see what DC Horror does next, and I'm hoping that next time they do a Conjuring movie that we get another tie-in comic, because this tie-in comic was really fun, and I definitely could read more of them. Hey, maybe Annabelle will get a comic or something. That would be pretty fun. I do want to see DC do more stuff with this horror line. They put out another book called Soul Plumber, and I don't know, that just looks a little weird, you know. It looks like it's trying too hard to be edgy. I don't know, I haven't read that yet. When the whole series is out, I'll read through it and I'll give you guys a review. But yeah, I want to see DC really do something with this line, but yeah, who knows. But anyway, this story is really good. If you're Conjuring fans, I definitely recommend reading it. And, you know, the movie, not the best Conjuring movie, but this is actually a really good tie-in comic, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom if you guys want to see more. You can click right there and see more. That should be my Conjuring playlist. So, you can click there and find my reviews for all the main Conjuring movies. I've just done Conjuring 1 through 3. I will get to the rest of them, but also all the past issues of this series as well. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.